Because you know I need it.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Shalom, Israel. Shalom. All praise on the glory to the Most High. Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2. I noticed my mic was on mute, man. Brothers and sisters that's in the chat, if you can hear me, throw a 7 in the chat if you would, please. Shabbat shalom again to y'all. House Bayan, Kohath, Hezekiah, and anyone else who's going to be joining in today for a continued lesson. I know, going back to back, some people tap out, after the first DST. Yeah, about 2.5 hours of me earlier. You're going to have to suffer some more of me today. I'll praise you. All right, come on in, y'all. All right, Cole, I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. All right. Get everybody in, settled in. All right. Do me a favor. You turn the light on. 1 second, y'all.
Oh,
all right. So here we go. Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shabbat shalom.
All right. We're going to get into the class today. The title in it is Learn Contentment. Complaining will get you killed. Learn contentment. Complaining will get you killed. In the spirit of Passover, as we left up out of our Exodus, and I brought up this earlier today, I believe in the Passover lesson initially for the first day. As soon as we got into the Exodus, what did our people start doing? And if the most are doubting, loss of faith, questioning everything, these are the things that we stay in the spirit. Now, if the Most High says this, nothing new under the sun. So we expect anything different now that we're exiting out of our close to exiting out of our Feast of Unleavened Bread and Passover. That same spirit is going to be rising itself up even more heavily. Historically, that's what ends up happening. You end up having splits within congregations. You end up seeing people falling away from the faith. You end up seeing people falling astray to different doctrines. You see marriages and relationships calling into question and things, going to the left. It's all because the same spirit has been plaguing our people for the longest. You would think after we just witnessed 10 miraculous plagues take down our enemies, we escape out into the comfort of being able to worship the Most High again. You would think we would be set right at that point. We finally accomplished our goal, but we still find a reason to complain. And the Most High put thousands of our people to death for that very same thing. From complaining, people fell to adultery and fornication, and the adultery and fornication with the Midianites and Moabites and all of that. It's 24,000 people got put to death just off of that alone. And you see that spirit moving through Israel. That's why I say, these things we're get put to death, man, messing around with something that is simple or quote unquote basic as just not complaining. Learning some contentment, as hard as that may be, not questioning the Most High judgments, where we're at in life, where are you at in life, not questioning why did she do this, why he say that. Sometimes it's learning to be still and know is the best thing that we can do. Because as soon as we get to complaining, somebody else is going to get to complaining, somebody else is going to get to murmuring, because that's essentially what murmuring is. It's just complaining and even bearing a grudge. We'll look at that in a minute. And I remember one of our former elders, Ibar, he used to always say, and we would consider this a quote unquote basic lesson, but he used to say, don't ever say anything with the Most High is basic. There's always knowledge and wisdom and understanding in everything that we read about. So, sometimes we get caught in the language of, oh, we're just going to cover the basics. He'll rebuke the hell out of you for saying that. Nothing basic in the Most High. Your brothers need to start talking about basic. And I had to really meditate on it and be like, yeah, you know what? That is true. Because as much as we go through repetition, if we're going through 40 years in the wilderness, if you just imagine that right now, bro, our people leaving up out of Egypt, and we've got 40 years that we got to wait till we get to our promised land. Not many of us can account for that in our lives in the truth. There's some brothers out there and sisters out there who's been in the truth 40 years or more, but most of us ain't been that long. And we already, you get just come in 6 months already complaining, falling off. I don't like the discipline. I don't like the structure. I don't like the order. I can't talk. No, you don't like it? Okay, you're going to see them disappear. There's always a reason, right? So let's open up. Let's start off in Lamentations. Lamentations chapter 3. Lamentations 3, and I want to read the whole chapter, but we ain't gonna go there. Let's start off at 21. Actually, start at 20. See, I'm creeping back a little bit. Start at 20. Lamentations 3 and 20. We're gonna start reading down.
Lamentations chapter 3 and verse 20. My soul hath them still in remembrance, and is humbled in me.
Right. So when the Most High talks about us remembering the past, asking our forefathers about our history and things, we always have to have that total recall. We got to always go back to the essences of what we may have thought we already knew, or people watching talking about, they didn't watch the 10 Commandments a million times. And yeah, I know the history. I know the story. No, we still have to remember. We still have to recall and bring it back, because everything is relevant even up to this day. So it says remembering, so like my soul has still in remembrance, and it humbles us, because when we see the conditions and the ways that our people had to stay in the wilderness for 40 years, that's humbling. When we start keeping, holy days like tabernacles, that's always to bring us into humility with the Most High, to shake us from, our usual living comforts or whatnot. Now we end up having to live out there in the wilderness, dependent upon one another, praying to the Most High that He sustains us during these times. Those are acts of humility. And who's our true covering? The Most High. So when we're worried about what's the roof that's over our head, our true roof is the Most High. But we lose sight of that. Read on.
This I recall to my mind. Therefore have I hope. It is the Lord's mercy that we are not consumed.
See, aren't we all worthy of death at this point? I mean, everybody that committed a sin worthy of death, in the truth or not. Romans 2 says, as many as are without the law is going to die without the law. So there really ain't no excuses. Well, I never knew it. The Most High said, I'll have mercy on whom I have mercy. That could be just an individual's lot that he got to carry in life, that he's not the elect, he's not the chosen, she's not going to be part of why am I losing my the redeemed. The Most High says it's only through His mercies that we haven't been destroyed. As much as Israel complained, did He still make good on His promise and let us through? As much as we put the Most High through hell, He's called us an adulterer and adulterous generation. Those things are worthy of getting put to death. Our philandering with other nations, gods, and philosophies, and our own egos and all of that, that was all worthy enough for the Most High to destroy us. Moses had to plead for us not to get put to death. And even said, man, get out the way, Moses, man. I can make a whole nother nation out of a rock. I don't need them. But it's only through His mercies that the Most High said, that's the only reason why we ain't been consumed yet. Because He made a covenant with us, which is a promise that He's going to forever be our power. We're going to forever worship Him. And it was sealed in blood. He kept His end of the bargain. We didn't. It's our job to get back in reconciliation with Him. Right? So it's only through His mercies that we haven't been consumed. Read on.
Because his compassions fail not.
Right. And sometimes, and that's where we got to make sure that we're not in the church mentality, because the church, any of us who've been around or dealt with the Christian, they, thrive on the mercies and the grace. They love the grace. They love the law of liberty, so they can continue wiggling, doing their wickedness. The Lord is merciful. The Lord knows my heart. The Lord knows. He knows nobody's perfect. I'm going to just keep it. Nah, we got to stop making them excuses, because you start taking advantage of the mercies of the Lord. And the Most High knows it. He's like, you little slick Negro. You not slick. You worship me and honor me with your mouth, but your heart is far from me. So when judgment starts happening, now people get to complaining, get to whining, and now the Most High is like, okay, that's only a means of sifting about who I'm going to deal with and who I'm not. Right? There's nothing worse than you trying to provide everything, working as hard as you can be at work, whether you're at work, whether you're at home, as men leading household. There's nothing worse than doing everything that you can, and then somebody still got something to say. Especially when there's no answers behind what they're saying. How come we can't do this? Why we ain't eating that? How come that looks like this? I would choose this color. Why they make that? Da-da-da? And it's like, yeah, will you ever be satisfied? That's why the Most High is like, Moses, get out the way. They don't like the fact that they're chosen. They don't like the fact that I set them above all nations. They don't like the fact that I gave them laws, statutes, and commandments that made them greater and better than all the nations on the earth. They don't like the land I gave them that's filled with milk and honey and all the resources in the earth. They don't like that the nations all envy. We got something to complain about every minute. Why she got on my colors? Brothers say, hey man, where'd you get that girl from? I ain't telling you. Why not? I like your bands. I like your hair. Yeah, so what? Man, that ain't right, man. That oil smells good, sister. Where you get it from? I made it. Well, would you make it a little something of this, a little something of that? Why they always ask me why I smell so good? Just little stuff. You like, dang, you don't realize it. You're putting yourself in a position that the Most High can just sit back and watch and say, oh, really? Is it that serious? Right? Read on.
They are new every morning.
Mm-hmm.
Great is thy faithfulness. The Lord is my portion, said my soul. Therefore will I hope in him. The Lord is good unto them that wait for him.
See, the Lord, when you talk about God is good, remember Psalm 73, or was it 71? No, 73. He said God is good unto Israel. I always make mention, the Christians always leave that part out. God is good. He said unto Israel, though. They leave that out. But then he said, he's good to them that wait on him. Didn't Yahweh tell us, in your patience possessing your soul? We want everything to crack off right now. Remember, that's why the Most High even said, woe to you that desire the day of the Lord. For what day, what end is it going to be for you? And if we ready to just be martyrs and be like, hey, I don't care. If I die and I don't make it, cool, but I just want to see destruction. Well, what kind of spirit is on you? I just want to see the missiles fly. And do you really? You might get consumed in them flames. Are you prepared? Is your household prepared? Is your spirit all right? That the Most High is going to have that? Is that guaranteed mercy? We going to make it? No. That's why the Lord said, I'm going to be good for them that wait. You be patient, you watch, you understand, you pray, you fast, you do everything that the Lord tells us to do. He said, and just wait. Wait on him. The show's going to be good. The show's going to go on. But we got to wait. We got to be patient. Read on.
To the soul that seeketh him.
Read on.
It is good that a man should both hope and quietly wait for the salvation.
How do he say to do it?
Quietly.
Oh, the complaining?
Quietly.
Whining?
Quietly.
Belly aching?
Quietly.
Sowing discord?
Quietly.
Shh. See, it says it's good for a man that should both hope and quietly wait for the salvation of the Lord. Damn, I thought it was over when the bombs started dropping over there in Ukraine. That ain't it. God dang. I thought it was it when the gas prices was going up. I thought it was over for America. It's like, okay. Then what ends up happening is brothers and sisters start losing faith. Key point for those, that was around what was it? Y2K? Year 2000. There was a lot of jakes that fell off, man, and schools splitting and all that because But some brothers was out there. We wasn't, but brothers was out there teaching. Oh, Y2K is the end of the world. Year 2000, there was a lot of hype. Even Esau was jumping on the bandwagon. They labeled it Y2K, and brothers was reading the scriptures wrong. You know, that Second Peter said after 2 days he's gonna redeem his people and seal up our wounds. It said after 2 days, so after 2,000 years. It didn't say in 2,000 years. Missed that point, but what ended up happening? Jakes ended up falling off. Wow, see, man, brothers lied, false doctrine, led me astray. I sold everything I had. I was on the rooftops praying, waiting for the chariots. Nothing happened. I'm out of here. And before you know it, more faithless people start bouncing and leaving. And you know what happened with that? There was a lot of Jakes, man, jumping out the window talking about that eclipse. Oh, Christ coming back, April 8th, the eclipse. Get ready. It was Israelites on the internet talking madness. Talking about it's over. That's it. Get ready, y'all. Prepare. And then what happened? It ended up happening. Now you see Jakes. I'm done with the community. I'm out of here. I don't like what's going on over here. Falling for the okie doke. Not studying, not reading, not adapting to live, learning, and applying what this word says. You know, making flesh, you know, trusting in man and making flesh, his flesh, your arm. Continue reading.
It is good that a man, verse 27,
Mm-hmm.
It is good for a man that he bear the yoke in his youth.
Right.
He sitteth alone and keepeth silence, because he have borne it upon him.
See, so the Most High is making mention that it's good when a man gets afflicted and he embraces his yoke and embraces his walk early. Right? Everybody doesn't have that opportunity. You get it when you get it, but the Most High is showing the advantages of growth. You know, as you get your yoke early, then you get born with it. Go ahead.
He putteth his mouth in the dust. If so be there may be hope.
Right. So he puts mouth dust in the mouth, meaning what? He's humble. He don't speak out. He don't wild out. He don't complain. Read.
He giveth his cheek to him that smiteth him. He is filled full with reproach.
And if he's worthy of judgment, he takes it. She takes it on the chin and moves on. Not sitting back complaining about judgment. Trying to wiggle around the law. That doesn't mean that. I know I did this, but that doesn't. What about this precept? No, brother, you committed adultery. You committed fornication. Oh, no, you ate something that was unclean. Oh, you didn't, abide by the laws of the Passover and unleavened bread. You take it on the cheek and accept it. Read on.
For the Lord will not cast off forever.
Right.
But though he cause grief.
See, we walk in the truth and we're going to deal with affliction. Remember the Most High, hold on and give me Acts 14:22. There's going to be grief, there's going to be pains, there's going to be afflictions that we go through, but that's how the Most High proves us. That's how we get our deliverance. Through our afflictions, we get the salvation. Hold on, invitation, Acts 14:22.
Acts chapter 14 and verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
Confirming the souls of the disciples.
This is how we confirm. This is the confirmation. This is what the Most High looks to seal the souls of the disciples. Read on.
And exhorting them to continue in the faith.
Right.
And that we must through much tribulation.
How much?
Much tribulation.
Read.
Enter into the kingdom of God.
See, it's not going to be no easy cakewalk, man. Forget about that. All you got to do is believe. All you got to do is, declare the name of Jesus Christ and plead the blood, and we're fine. You're going to make it to the kingdom. It's not about, little low down and Johnny Ray got shot in the street. Oh, they're in a better place now. They're in heaven now. Their souls wasn't confirmed. They didn't go through much affliction. But every time that there's some dang funeral with a carload of, assembly line of cars going to your nearest funeral home, because some Jay got killed in the street, first thing they do is making white tees and putting angel wings on it and saying he's in heaven now. She's in a better. No. The Lord said confirmation going to come through much tribulation is how we're going to make it into the kingdom. So how else is the Most High going to prove us and try us? When we were going through that wilderness, didn't we have to go through tribulation? We had to go through some tough times. Everything wasn't cool and kosher while we was over there. We had to encounter the Amalekites who wasn't letting us through. We were dealing with the Midianites. We were dealing with the Moabites. We were dealing with our own hunger pains, dealing with uncomfortability, not being able to sleep outside. Every little complaint that we get. That's why it's so great when we deal with Passover, man. We look at ourselves, and I speak to y'all as much as I speak to myself. There's always something to complain about. We'll be out there in Tabernacles. It's too cold. It's too hot. The bugs. Ain't sleeping comfortable. Something just gonna come out and complain.
Restroom is too far.
Restroom too far. It stank. We always find some reason. But look at our people, man. 40 years had to deal with that. We been there for 2 days, 4 days max. And we like, I can't wait to get back home and take a shower. I can't wait to get back. Good Lord, we got a long way to go.
Got comfortable in hell.
Yeah, that's it. And that's the cold part about being Israel, man. Is because we're the chosen people of the Lord, we adapt. We can turn, what is it, sugar into, ish into sugar, and now to the point where the youth, man, glorify how bad the conditions are that you grow up in. Where you grow up? Man, I grew up on the south side. I grew up in Watts. I grew up in that's the badge of honor. About how cursed you are. I grew up in South Central. It was wild, man. You can't come outside without your strap on you. Like, that's good now, but that's getting comfortable in hell. That's one of the problems, is that we don't actually, adjust. We adjust to the heat. We don't actually figure out how can we get it cooled down. The most I be like, yo, you love the heat? You turn it up, and we be like, that's all right. I can take it. Give me another jacket. And we end up realizing like that heat that the Most High puts on us, man, is everlasting. We don't want them type of flames. But we always adapt, and that's part of being the chosen. We can turn a negative into a positive, and vice versa. We take our positives and we go negative with it. Scripture says, man, we even taught the wicked their way. So we got to get back into understanding and accepting, seeing how the Most High said through much affliction, we're going to enter into the kingdom. So 40 years we was going through it, but it was all to get to our promised land. And everybody didn't make it, did they? How many people made it? That original generation did not make it at all. And that's what's so cold. That's why it even gives more credence to when Yahweh said, man, wide is the gate to lead to destruction, narrow is the way to lead to life, and few there be that find it. Just look back at the Exodus. I mean, that first generation that came through, second generation, it was like, most times they not going to, I need fresh spirits. I need, this generation going to get it. The old ones, they set in their ways. The old ones complaining too dang much. The old ones want to go back to Egypt. The old ones, they're not going to be able to make it through. All right, let's go back to Lamentations. Pick it up at 32. Yeah, kind of.
Lamentations chapter 3 and verse 32.
Mm-hmm.
But though he cause grief, yet he will have compassion according to the multitude of his mercy.
See, we just got to wait. That's why the Most High said that we're going to be blessed when we wait on him. Yeah, we might go through some tough times. It might be some afflictions. It might be some questionable things that we don't understand how the Most High is moving in our lives. But he said, just wait on him. He said, I'm going to give you compassion. I'm going to have mercy. Just wait for it. We go through it. Oh, man, you're rolling out, the tire get blown out and all this other stuff. You ain't got the means to try to get it fixed. And Most High said, don't worry. I'm going to be able to help you. Your tire going to get fixed, and I'm going to multiply you later on down the line. But we got to wait on it. So he said that his compassion and multitude of mercies, read on.
For he have not afflict willingly, nor grieve the children of men.
Mm-hmm.
To crush under his feet all the prisoners of the earth.
See, the Most High said he'd rather not crush everybody under his feet and afflict, but he said, I got to purge. I got to make sure that everybody's there. What is it? Ecclesiastes? No, Ecclesiastes, the second chapter. Said to prepare thyself for temptation when you come to serve the Lord. And he's going to put us through the furnace of affliction and all of that. So the Most High is like, look, I got to test you to make sure that you're prepared and you're ready and you really are about what you say. As soon as we get to complaining about it, the Most High's like, I didn't lie to you. I told you what's going to happen when you come to serve me. So why are you complaining about it? And then that's a cut, and you're like, dang, you're right. I better just be quiet, man. Let me go ahead and suffer and get through it. Lord willing, He has His grace and His mercies on us. You said you're gonna have mercy on me, Father. So let me go ahead on and make it through this. Read on.
To turn aside the right of a man before the face of the Most High, to subvert a man in his cause, the Lord approveth not.
Go ahead.
Who is he that said, it is cometh to pass when the Lord commanded it not? Out of the mouth of the Most High proceedeth not evil and good.
See, so when we're looking at these last few verses, this bottom line is saying the Most High does both evil and good. Everything comes from Him. So when we get to complaining, whether it's good, bad, or ugly, we're got to look at it as we're directing that to the Most High. So whether you're looking at an individual or you're looking at somebody else, it all travels back to the Most High. We're going to see that in a minute. Because when the children of the Lord complained to Moses, the Lord said they was complaining to Him. He said, how long are these people complaining to me? But the verses earlier clearly said they was complaining to Moses and Aaron. So the Most High looks beyond the flesh. He's like, look, everything you saying to him, I'm taking it personal. You talking about me. Read.
Wherefore doth a living man complain, a man for the punishment of his sins?
See, when we get judged by the Most High, when we go through our afflictions, we get to complaining about it. So, man, how are you going to complain and you getting punished for your sins? A lot of times, when we go through hell or whatever, and you like, man, yeah, it's probably because I was doing it. That's probably because I was, I lied about this. It's probably because I did this, that, and the third. Probably because I, skipped out, worked on the Sabbath. Whatever the case may be. The secret sins of men, the Most High knows. So then when the judgments come down, the Lord said, man, don't complain. How is a man going to complain when he's getting punished for the judgment of his sins? Read down to 41.
Let us search and try our ways and turn again to the Lord. Let us lift up our heart with our hands unto God in the heavens.
That's what the Most High wants us to do, is always turn to Him. He said, let us search and try our ways and turn again to the Most High. That's what He always wants us to do. When we get put in positions where we start questioning, when we start doubting, when we start complaining, the Lord said, check yourself and then try our way. See if we're actually measuring up to the standard that the Most High wants and expects of us. If we're not making the cut, then we got to make adjustments in life. And He says, and then we got to go and turn back to the Most High, because clearly our minds have left the Lord. Let's go to Proverbs. Proverbs 23:21.
Said 20.
Proverbs 23. You know what? Nah, I'm gonna come back to that one. Job 21. I'm gonna come back to Proverbs. Job 21, and start at verse 1. We'll read down to 4.
Job chapter 21 and verse 1. But Job answered and said, hear diligently my speech, and let this be your consolations.
Now, Job was talking to us. If anybody had reason to complain, can we agree that maybe Job has a valid reason to complain? If there was any validation in it. I mean, remember, this is a man that the Lord said was perfect and eschewed evil.
All he went through.
Went through pure hell. And he could have easily been like, man, this is a book. I can't believe. Why me? He could have went through it, right? So Job was telling us, he said, hear diligently my speech, and let this be your consolations. Read.
Suffer me that I may speak, and after that I have spoken, mock on. As for me, is my complaint to men? And if it were so, why should not my spirit be troubled?
Right. So Job is saying, listen, if I was complaining about men, why would my spirit be troubled? Meaning impatient. Like he would be having to go address it immediately. So Job knew that once he complained, he said, it ain't going to man, it's going to the Most High. But how did he respond to that? Read.
Mark me and be astonished, and lay your hand upon your mouth.
He said, man, once he realized, he said, man, I ain't complaining to man, I've been complaining to the Most High. He said, mark me and be astonished. He said, watch what I do and be shocked. You should put your hand over your mouth. Because Job knew what the whole purpose of his being tried and tested was for what? To curse the Most High. That was his objective. The Most High told Satan, man, do whatever you want to him. You can't kill him. Satan said, you gonna give me that ring? I promise you, he's gonna curse you. He said, well, try it, man. Job is my faithful servant. He ain't gonna do it. He went through it, and Job said, man, as soon as I think to complain, I'm gonna put my hand over my mouth. Be astonished at that. Because the average individual would have been like, well, I'm sick of this. And complain like crazy. Right? Was that it before? All right, come on. Go to Job 30. It's like Jeremiah 30. Jeremiah 30. And let's start at verse 10.
Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 10. Therefore fear thy not, O my servant Jacob, said the Lord, neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of thy captivity.
Now,
their captivity.
From their captivity, read. Go ahead.
And Jacob shall return, and shall be in rest, and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid.
Right. So this is after Jacob's trouble. So we're talking about the major afflictions that's going to be happening within the earth. Famine, death, plague, war, civil unrest, economic breakdowns, sedition among men. All of that's going to be going on. All that's part of Jacob's trouble collectively. It's going to cause major turmoil within our nation, right? But after that, because remember, the Most High said, if we be patient and count on his tender mercies, the Lord said that, therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, saith Yahweh, neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from off the land of their captivity. And we're going to return and be at rest. But we're going to go through trouble, tribulation. There's going to be things that we're not going to like. But the guarantee from the Lord is that we're going to be delivered from it. We just got to be patient and wait. Read verse 11.
Verse 11. For I am with thee, said the Lord, to save thee. Though I make a full end of all nations, whether I have scattered thee.
See, the Lord said he's going to make a full end of the nations wherever he scattered us. Their rule, their domination, their oppression of us is going to come to an end. We're going to get back into being the righteous people and the rulers of the earth as we were blessed to be from the beginning. But he said he's going to save us. Now, what happened when our people came up out of that exodus in Egypt? They thought, what they tell Moses? Moses, you brought us here to die. Moses, where are you going? Moses said, I'll be back. I got to go to the mountain and get counsel from the Lord. There ain't no Lord up there, Moses. You trying to leave us. Every minute. So everything that we're going through, you're going to see Jake's going to be turning their back on. The Most High don't exist, man. The Bible's tampered with. I ain't into that no more. And throughout the years, you see that, you hear that rhetoric popping up all the time. Season. You get some brothers out there talking about, yeah, I'm on another level now. I remember we ran into another Jake some years ago, man. Ran into a brother who used to congregate with us at our old campus under Jacob, man. See the brother out on the street. He's all gone, beard shade the whole nine. Like, what's up with you? You ain't keeping up. Yeah, I'm on a new level. I'm above that now. Yeah, I see y'all still into that. Like, what? Who knows where he's at right now? But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, another common one is the Bible contradicts itself.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've been doing some studying. You're supposed to be studying. Yeah, I've been doing some reading and I know some contradiction. No, you've been online following some BS, and all of a sudden now you've been doing some studying. I've been doing some research. You were supposed to be in research and study. All of a sudden now, and this led you to this conclusion. Yeah, the Bible's not 100% accurate. Yeah, we need some other books. The universe told me. Look, the universe now? Yeah, we got crystals that we should be having. Yeah, hey, hold on. The breastplate had 12 stones. So, Israel, the Urim and the Thummim, and we was spiritual power. They'll make up all kind of reasons to fall off into idolatry and all kind of evil and wickedness. Using things on the left-hand side. That's okay. I mean, I do talk to my spiritual advisor. Who's that? Yeah, I got a spiritual advisor. Yeah, she lives off of 51st in Vermont. Yeah, the one, she got the tarot cards outside her house. And you saying, that's witchcraft. Well, Saul went and consulted with a witch. Yep. Yeah, all kind of fighting going on. And Jake will make every excuse in the world to do that. But now you see here, the Lord said, man, I'm going to make a full end of these nations, but everybody ain't going to make it. But read that from the top again, because the Most High said he's not going to utterly let Israel go off. Read on.
For I am with thee, said the Lord, to save thee. Though I will make a full end of all nations, whether I have scattered thee, yet will I not make a full end of thee, but I will correct thee in measure.
That's the guarantee. The Most High said, I'm not going to utterly destroy all of Israel. Remember, even in the wilderness, as much as our people complain, thousands died, and the Most High said, you know what, Moses? Yeah, they over here complaining, they over here acting a damn fool. I got to put them to death. I'm not going to kill them. I got to kill some of them. I'm not going to kill everybody, but some of them got to go. Some of them are not worthy to get to this promised land. Some of them, I need some blood. Listen, can't be no redemption without blood. I mean, no remission of sins without blood. Proverbs says that the wicked is going to be a ransom for the righteous. Somebody got to pay. The Most High is like the mob boss. He's like, you know what? Somebody got to pay for that. And you're like, Lord, well, hey, sacrifice somebody. Give me something, because I'm not letting it slide. You can have mercy, yeah, no doubt, but somebody got to pay for it. So he said he's not going to make a full end of us, but he's going to correct us in measure. Read.
He will not leave thee altogether unpunished.
So no, he's still going to make sure that we get corrected. Read down to 14. Actually, read down to 15.
For thus saith the Lord, thy bruise is incurable, and thy wound is grievous. Mm-hmm. There is none to plead thy cause, that thou mayest be bound up. Thou hast no healing medicines. All thy lovers have forgotten thee.
See, this is what happens when everything that Israel was into, man. The Lord says some is going to have incurable bruises and wounds that are too grievous. There's nobody you can go to. You can't go to the psychics and the witch doctors and the warlocks of Babylon. Can't run to the money. So all our lovers have forgotten him. Everything that we thought was the right thing to do, the grass is green on the other side. When all hell breaks loose and the Most High starts destroying the nations and destroying Israel, you ain't going to be no running to your comfort zones of the crystals and Allah and everywhere else. Read on.
They seek thee not, for I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy, with the chastisement of a cruel one, for the multitude of thy iniquity, because thy sins were increased.
See, Israel continue on sinning, adding sin to sin, right? But the Most High said that he was going to wound us with the wound of an enemy. I mean, the Most High said, I'm going to treat you like a dang heathen. That's cold. Because if he tell Amalek, man, I'm going to make war with Amalek forever. Kill, utterly, slay, old, young, and the whole lot. That's where we see how the ruthlessness of the Most High comes into play. Because he said, man, we go against him. He said, I'm going to wound you like you're my enemy. And we make ourselves enemies of the Most High when we don't live, learn, and apply and be obedient to what he said. The Most High is bottom line. He's like, you know, you hear baby Bush, George Bush out there talking about you're either with us or you're with the terrorists back when they had 9/11. But that's how the Most High is. The Most High is like either you're with me or you're against me. And if you ain't with me, you're my enemy, and I'm gonna treat you as such. Read on.
Verse 15.
Uh-huh.
Why criest thou for thy affliction? Thy sorrow is incurable for the multitude of thy iniquity. Because thy sins were increased, I have done these things unto you.
See, you know, you get the Christians and others that don't understand, the Pan-Africans and everybody else, don't understand where and how our afflictions come from. It's very simple. Because of our sins. He said, man, because your sins are increased, I've done these things to thee. Sorrows, incurable. Multitude of your iniquities. The Most High said, why criest thou for thine affliction? He said, why complain? Why are you gonna cry about it? How do we end that? Is to be obedient. Keep the laws. Stay on the right-hand side of the Most High. Don't go against the grain. Unless you're leaving the world, that's the only going against the grain you go. You got to go against everything this world is doing, but you go with the flow of the Most High. Other than that, we don't move. Go back to Lamentations 3 again. I want to go down to, unless you did. I'm not sure if you did. Did you read down to 47?
41.
41? Yeah, read down to 47.
Lamentations chapter 3 and verse 42. We have Okay. We have transgressed. Yeah.
Come on.
We have transgressed and have rebelled. Thou hast not pardoned. Thou hast covered with anger and persecuted us. Thou hast slain. Thou hast not pitied. Thou hast covered thyself with a cloud, that our prayers should not pass through. Thou hast made us as the offscouring and refuse in the midst of the people.
See how the Most High can bring his judgment upon us? And all we got to do is learn to be content, don't complain, follow the law. It's a simple pattern. But why do we make it so hard? You know, it's that flesh that's tugging at us. The flesh be telling us what we want. The flesh said, no, I want him, I want her, I want that, I want to eat this, you know, I want to smoke that. I want to, you know, go out tonight. I want to, you know, defile my temple. I want to go out on the Sabbath. Whatever the case may be, the things that tug along and drag us back onto judgment. These are all things that the Most High said, well, listen, this is how I'm going to treat you. You go that route. This is what's waiting for you. He said that thou hast covered thyself with a cloud that our prayer should not pass through. So when we wondering why the Most High not answering our prayers, you know, that happens a lot, especially people in the world. I prayed to God that he didn't take my mama from it. Well, have you considered keeping the laws? Have you considered no? Well, the Most High even said that he that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer is going to be an abomination. So sometimes the Most High does is shut it down, be like, look, I'm not even hearing your prayers. I only want to hear it until you get your act together. Continue on to 47.
Verse 46. All our enemies have opened their mouths against us. Fear and a snare is come upon us. Desolation and destruction.
See, and that's what's been happening to our people. Let's go to the history. Let's go to Numbers. Numbers, we're going to Numbers. Numbers 11. And you started one.
Numbers 11, it's Numbers chapter 11, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And when the people complained, it displeased the Lord, and the Lord heard it.
Wait a minute. Now, again, fresh out the Exodus, we see the, you know, and even in our own personal lives, man, we have testimonies. We can see how the Most High moved in our lives, but we still find reason to buck up a little bit, to complain a little bit, to whine and look. The Most High was like, damn, didn't I just get you that job? Didn't I just? heal you up when you were sick as a dog and you still pop up. Got something to complain about, right? It says when the people complained, it displeased the Lord. So the Most High don't want to hear about it. When are you gonna take out the trash? When are you gonna do this? When are you gonna do that? When you gonna get a job? When you gonna do? You hear that, and the man in his ears like that high pitch, distortion that you blow your head up. When's dinner gonna be done? How come my clothes ain't ironed? Why you ain't doing this? Where you? Why don't you shut up? All that goes on in the house, and the Most High sitting there saying, "I don't like hearing none of this stuff. Displeasing the Lord. Why can't the kid, your son, why can't he play baseball on the Saturday? It's his career. We could be going to the pros. They should be playing football." Huh? No, we ain't doing it. No, he can't play. No. You messing around. He got a good voice. She got a good voice. They could be the next Beyonce. Let him do this. An agent called me the other day. We met him at the mall. And you like, no. See, that's why I don't. The Most High be sitting there like, good Lord. These people have every reason to complain and nothing really to complain about. Read it from the top.
And when the people complained, it displeased the Lord, and the Lord heard it, and his anger was kindled, and the fire of the Lord burnt amongst them, and consumed them that were in the uttermost parts of the camp.
So the Most High started laying down judgment. That flame started hitting people. He said, okay, you're going to burn them among the camp. Read.
And the people cried unto Moses, and Moses prayed unto the Lord.
Moses, we're sorry. We're sorry. I didn't know the Lord heard us. I was just whispering. We were just us in the tent. I didn't know he heard my thoughts while I was sitting on the toilet. Most High like, I hear it all. Why? Most High like, no. Then what happens all the time, Israel, we want to get right at the last minute. We wait until the judgment of the Lord comes. We don't want to get right ahead of time. When it starts hitting the fan and we start seeing the judgment of the Most High, that's when we want to get right. Y'all, we talk about all the time. Y'all know 9/11 hit, earthquakes hit, everybody want to run. What's going on? Is this the end time? Is God coming? What prophets tell us? Oh, now we prophets. Last week we was niggas looking like ninjas out on the street. Now we're the little men of the Lord. I know I called y'all Power Rangers. I'm sorry. Can I get one of those things that y'all wear? No. It's too late. Remember we dressed funny and everything else? Oh yeah, you called the cops on us because you was complaining we was outside teaching and you was mad because you couldn't watch your soap operas. Your brothers are out teaching too. Like, oh no. Now when all hell breaks loose, Moses, we're sorry. Praying to the Lord. And what Moses had to do? Moses could have easily been like, hell no, you wicked nigga, get out. I don't care. That's what you get. Moses took it on the chin and said, all right, I'm going to go pray to the Lord for you. That take a lot of patience, a lot of suffering, and a lot of humility, because Moses could have easily been like, man, the hell with y'all. You got exactly what you deserve. Matter of fact, you too close. You still smoking. your garments are still on fire. Get out. Get away from me. I don't want to be consumed in your folly. But the Lord said, no. I mean, he put the spirit on Moses, said, no, I'm going to go pray to the Lord. And what ended up happening?
The fire was quenched.
Go ahead.
And he called the name of the place Tabor, because the fire of the Lord burnt amongst them.
Go ahead.
And the mixed multitude that was among them fell a lusting.
So remember, mixed multitude cleaved unto Israel, said, man, we heard that the Lord was with you. Take whatever you want. And Israel was like, yeah, we want the silver to go. Carry all that stuff and you can follow us. You can come hang. Mm-hmm. This is why the Most High said, this is not the time to be trying to mix in your multitude in your congregations. You got some camps out there that's allowing the heathen in and letting them hang out and all that. What they do? They end up influencing Israel. The mixed multitude that was among them fell a lusting. And what ended up happening?
And the children of Israel also wept again.
Oh, yeah. The heathen amongst you, aren't you hungry? I mean, how long are we going to be out here? I mean, we seen all the play. How come your God just can't, make an oasis of water for us? How come he won't just let us go to the land? And Israel said, yeah, you're right. I don't like that either. I am hungry. Was that your stomach or mine? Israel get to complain. Okay, now that's why you get these heathen coming up in here. Mixed multitude, and they telling Israel, and Israel starts whining again. Read?
And said, who shall give us flesh to eat?
We're hungry. We want flesh to eat. Read?
We remember the fish.
There's all the devil on his favorite verse. Remember the fish. Oh, remember the Big Macs? Remember the Popeye chicken sandwiches? We used to be fighting in line for them things. Remember that when they first came out?
The double.
Oh, the double. Oh, now they got the quadruple or something?
The 3x3.
3x3 animal fries. Oh my God, I remember the best. Remember when we can buy the hot and ready Little Caesars? Oh my goodness, I'm sorry.
Papa John's.
Yeah. I remember when it was 2 for $1 at Burger King. Good Lord. I'm hungry. We remember the fish. Right, Reed?
Which we did eat in Egypt freely.
Oh, it was nice and cheap. Eat as much as you want. Remember the buffets, man, at what's the name of that place? Yeah, Vegas, Hometown Buffet, Golden Corral. Eat as much as you want. Shakey's, man, all you can eat pizza and mojo potato and chicken. And I see some of y'all drooling right now. Why I hear some of them bellies right now. See? That was yours? All right. Don't worry, we're going to eat later. Let's say which we did eat in Egypt freely. Now that's an oxymoron, because here we are, we're talking about Egypt being a house of bondage, but we're eating freely. Here we are in Egypt right now. Are we eating freely? Yeah, you can eat whatever you want as long as you can pay for it. And he'll make sure he got the cheap little deals out there to make sure you can eat. Right now, they're killing them 99-cent stores, but they out of here by now. You used to be able to get the little cheap victuals out there. Now they out of here. Yeah, they done. Dollar Tree, whatever else is left out there, you can still go get a little something to eat.
Dollar Tree going up to $7.
What?
$7 tree.
Well, they figure they gonna monopolize. They go to $7. They taking over. They figure, man, all the 99-cent store patrons and faithfuls, they got to come to us. Charge them up. So we did eat freely. Read on.
The cucumbers.
Oh yeah.
And the melons.
Yeah, go ahead.
And the leeks.
Mm-hmm.
And the onions.
Mm.
And the garlic.
Oh, we were just getting it all. We were getting it all. They should remember that. Well, where's Moses at, man? We out here starving like a mother, man. We could go back right now and be eating good. And the Lord said, I hear all of this mess. I hear it. Read on.
But now our souls is dried away. There is nothing at all.
Look how dramatized. Israel's so extra. Our souls is dried up. Oh, our whole being, everything within us, man. We out here dying. Yeah, look at my legs wobbling. I can barely get up. Israel's so extra. Read on.
Beside this manna before our eyes.
I'm sick of that manna, man. That's all we getting to eat. I want flesh. Sick of this. Read.
And the manna was a corridor seed in the color
Coriander.
Coriander seed in the color therefore as the color of bellium.
Wisdom of Solomon said this is like angel's food, man. Can you imagine you eating it, man, but it's tasting like whatever you wanted to taste like. But because it's constantly the same thing, you like, man, I'm sick of eating the same thing. Well, look, we over here in Feast of Unleavened Bread right now. It took a minute as you get more seasoned in to expand your menus. To figure out, I remember one brother, he said, I bought five lamps. What do you say? What's the brother say? Oh, you was there on the dime. And the Jake, I forgot the brother. I don't want to put his name up there, but anyway, He said he bought 5 lamb chops. He was just like, I said, why? You like lamb that much? He's like, I just don't want to mess up. That's all I mean. I mean lamb every day. You know, but remember, early off, man, Jake's on the menu, tacos every day. You know, it was always eat tacos every day.
Tacos and spaghetti.
Yeah. So it was like, okay, then you start realizing, you know what, you actually, yeah, you can bake and fry some chicken as long as you got unleavened flour and things. You can still eat. But because it got so repetitive, you know, sometimes they get tired and get burnt out. Somebody was talking about dried up crackers today. I need some flavor, but I feel you. But then that's when you expand. You're like, hey, I bought these. Check these out. Try these out. But believe me, I told my rib earlier, I'm not eating nachos. I don't like them. I don't like nachos no more. I'm getting some other stuff. Water crackers or something, you know. But we can do those things. But Israel should not, you know, but that's Israel. We are. I'm tired of eating the same thing over and over again. Read verse 8.
And the people went about and gathered it and ground it into the mills and beat it in a mortar and baked it in the pans and made cakes of it. And the taste of it was as the taste of fresh oil.
So, you know, we was able to still get it in and bake us up some nice little manna cakes and was eating good. But because it wasn't what we wanted, this don't taste like KFC. This don't taste like, you know, that steak. This don't taste like, it's like, okay. Well, the Most High is giving us what we need to sustain ourselves. You may not be able to have that extensive menu that you used to. Prices going up now, inflation's up, man. Yet them groceries ain't. Hey, Jake just said he paid $75 for 3 steaks. That's crucial. Mm. What was $100 in groceries used to get you like 4 bags. Now it's about 2, and one of them ain't full. It's really like a bag and a half. I spent $30 on a watermelon, apples, just some fruit. I'm like, good Lord, we are in trouble, right? And that's how I go.
We went to
Here come the testimonies. Let's go. So you ain't alone. What'd you do?
we Rasha and I went out to Malachi'sville, and parking was it $10 half an hour or an hour or something?
Just the park?
Just to park.
Yeah.
And candy was $40
What?
a pound.
Candy?
So, you know, the peanut, but you know, the peanut brittles.
Oh, peanut brittle and all that? Yeah.
$40 a pound.
Good Lord. See, that's, you know, for the brothers and sisters that's online, brother was just sharing a testimony. Went over to the GMO non-organic peoples that's claiming to be us and charged them to park in a what was it?
$10 an hour.
But where was y'all at? Was it Farmers Market?
Farmers Market.
Okay. Farmers Market over there in Amalekville. $10 an hour to park, and peanut brittle was $40 a pound. Come on, man. Now you might have a reason to complain. You might have a reason to complain for that. Let's double back, man.
They don't validate it anymore.
Oh, please.
They don't validate parking.
And they ain't paying attention to no dang handicap sign either. Everybody pay. Ruthless.
You got handicap parking, but you still have to pay.
You still gotta pay. Jump over to number 14. We finished 11. Let's jump to 14. Start at 1.
Numbers chapter 14 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And all the congregation lifted up their voice and cried, and the people wept that night. And all the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron. And the whole congregation said unto them, would God that we had died in the land of Egypt, or would God we had died in this wilderness.
So now here comes the lack of faith. Now here comes the complaining to Moses and Aaron. Remember, now keep this in mind. It said that they murmured against Moses and Aaron. So now they're questioning, would the Most High bring us out here to die? Do you really think that the Most High is going to have us die out here in this wilderness? Who put y'all in charge? Who told y'all that this was what we were supposed to be doing? This ain't the works of the Lord. Don't we hear that with much of Christians? Not my God. My God wouldn't do that. My God wouldn't sanction slavery. My God wouldn't say, if you're homosexual, you should be put to death. My God is merciful. My God is all love. Same spirit, same people, same ones out here questioning the true nature of our power. They're out here telling the Most High, telling Moses and Aaron, God wouldn't want us to die. You mean to tell me if I eat this pork, I'm going to get put to death? God wouldn't do that. He wouldn't want me to die. What? That ain't what the law says. That ain't what the Most High says. Right? Now, it says that they were up crying and weeping all night long. Now it says, and the children of Israel murmured. So I just want to look at the Hebrew word for murmur so we can just get that. Let me share my screen. And we can see here the Hebrew word is lanan. And you know what's interesting? You leave it to the so-called white man. If you say it in the Assyrian, he says it's loon.
Strong's H 3885. Loon. Second entry. Lean.
Now that's, but in the ancient paleo, you call it lanan. They say loon. Now, if we translate that in today's terms of slang or whatnot, right? Somebody that's crazy, you call them what? Loony. Now, think about that in the spirit. The Most High is saying, in other words, if you murmur and complain, you crazy. You are alone if you do that, right? Now, it says in the biblical usages, it says to grumble, to complain, or to murmur. Or murmur means to complain or to grumble, right? Now, it says, let me see here. To be obstinate, especially in words, to complain. To abide all night, meaning what? Non-stop. To be obstinate. Now, looking at obstinate, what does obstinate mean? Let me share that. Because you don't want to just be reading these words and be thinking we know it all. So I sure don't. I'm going to look it up. Obstinate, stubbornly adhering to an attitude. How many of Israelites got attitudes out there? She's sassy. Got a little attitude on her. Magic always got a little attitude on him. He's always turned up.
He's spicy.
Spicy, salt, whatever they call them now. I mean, good Lord. But stubborn about it, refusing to change. Stubbornly adhering to an attitude, opinion, what we feel, what we think. Most I don't give a damn about none of that. He's like, look, it's what I say, and that's what it is. Or course action. Difficult to manage, control, or to treat. Think about that. Difficult to manage, control, or to treat. Now, Most High talked about us having obstinate hearts. Meaning what? We're difficult to manage. When we stiff neck, bottom line. Rebellious. Difficult to manage or control or to treat. When one is always causing a problem, stirring up strife, causing division, causing discord, doesn't like structure, doesn't like order. And that's why you get some who say, you know what, I don't want to be in a congregation. I don't want to be in the camp. I'm good on my own. I'm an individual. I don't need to be part of that. Matter of fact, them cults, them camps is a cult. Me and brother was talking about earlier. Them camps is a cult. I'm okay. Why? Because you don't want to be managed or controlled. You don't want to be in a set order. You want your wife to follow 1 Corinthians 11 Most High Christ, man, woman, get in order. I'm ready. You want that order, but when it comes down to dealing with things in a controlled nature, when it comes down to nation building, I don't want that. And I ain't have no man over me. Well, we can read about that all throughout the scriptures about men being over men and ruling in judgment and things of that nature. But that's what ends up happening. The obstinate don't want it. But getting back, that's part of murmuring. To be obstinate, especially in words, to complain, abide all night, to continue. And one other thing it says to grudge. See, carrying on with a long-standing, displeasure with an individual or whatever the case. My Lord said, you hold those grudges, that's considered murmuring as well. That's still sin. You got to be able to let things die, let them go. Don't be, dwelling on this stuff. Hey, at the end of the day, all those things are considered sin and part of murmuring, right? So let's get back. Where were we at? Numbers 14. Read it again. True.
Numbers chapter 14, verse 2.
Go ahead.
And all the children of Israel, and all the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole congregation said unto them, would God that we had died in the land of Egypt,
Right.
or would God we had died in this wilderness? And wherefore have the Lord brought us into this land to fall by the sword, and our wives and our children shall be a prey?
See, and Israel throw that out. What about the wives? What about our kids? You're gonna have them get killed. The blood is on your hand, Moses. Your blood is on your hand, Aaron. You want Moses and Aaron to buckle. Feel guilty about the instructions that the Most High gave them. Read on.
Were it not better for us to return into Egypt?
Don't you think it'd be better, man, if we just went back to Egypt? Don't you think it'd be better if we just kind of ease up off of them commandments? I mean, it's becoming so burdensome. Don't you think it'd be better, man, if we just, make some adjustments and we just, go along to get along, and let's not go so hard against, wickedness and evil. We know everything America's doing, but we might be a little bit more quiet about it. You'll be more accepted that way. I mean, they even tell us that when we teach on the streets, you'll get more bees with honey. Curve a little bit. Don't you think it'd be better if we just remain in bondage? Read.
And they said one to another, let us make a captain and let us return into Egypt.
Don't like how the program's going. Oh, we're going to find a new leader. We're going to find a new captain that's going to return us back to Egypt. We're going back into bondage. Remember what they wanted earlier. They said they want leeks, garlic. They want the fish. They want everything. They think they're going to go right back into being free in Egypt again, which again is oxymoron because he was in bondage in Egypt, but meanwhile, you think he was free. That's the illusion. So now they saying we're going to get a new leader that's going to lead us back to Egypt, man. The hell with you and Aaron, man. We're done with y'all. Read on.
And Moses and Aaron fell on their faces before all the assembly of the congregation of the children of Israel.
Continue. Yeah,
And
read down to
Joshua the
11.
son of Nun and Caleb the son of Jephunneh, which were of them that searcheth the land and rent their clothes.
Because why? Moses, Aaron, Joshua, Jephunneh, they knew that the judgment of the Lord is going to come. They like, look, man, they don't know what they're doing. They out here complaining. They're wilding out. We can't do nothing but pray to the Lord that, some of them be spared. Read.
And they spake unto all the company of the children of Israel, saying, the land which we passed through to search it, it is an exceeding good land.
He said, look, we've been over there. We've seen the land. It's good. The Most High ain't lying. We checked it out. It's going to be straight. Everybody just calm down, be patient. We're going to get there. Read on.
If the Lord delight in us,
Mm-hmm.
then he will bring us into this land and give it to us, a land which floweth with milk and honey.
See, doing the same thing I'm doing today. Everything is still promised to us if we do the things that's pleasing to the Lord. If he delights in us, if we do anything that the Most High does not like, remember he said he's displeased when we complain. So they're trying to tell them, if y'all just shut up, we're gonna get this promised land. We've seen it. It is cracking over there. Yeah, I got some heathens over there, and they big as hell, but we can take them out. And the Lord's going to give us his land, filled with milk and honey. Read.
Only rebel not ye against the Lord,
Mhm.
neither fear ye the people of the land, for they are bread for us. Their defense is departed from them, and the Lord is with us. Fear them not. But all the congregation that stones them with stones, and the glory of the Lord.
Hold on. Read that again.
But all the congregation that stones them with stones.
Now, after all of that, they Moses and Aaron on their faces praying to the Most High. Joshua, Caleb, they're like trying to encourage Israel, telling them, look, the land is there. The Most High can look out for us. Don't fear the people. They're going to be bread unto us. Meaning, you know, they got old slang on the East Coast. They say that somebody's belongings are food, meaning it's theirs to eat. They're going to take whatever they want. And that's slang coming from the Bible. The Most High bottom line said, everything they got is food for us. We eating up all their stuff. Don't worry about it. What did Israel do? I don't care about none of that. You know, everybody get a stone, man. Shut them up. I don't want to hear nothing from Moses, Aaron, Caleb, Joshua. We putting y'all to death. We already made a decision. We want a new captain. We're going back to Egypt. You can tell Israel everything all the good pleasantries, man. Israel's still going to try to crucify us. Only rebel not against the Lord. And then what they do, the congregation bade stone them with stones. Read.
And the glory of the Lord appeared in the tabernacle of the congregation before all the children of Israel.
Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Moses, how long will this people provoke me? And how long will it be in error they believe me? For all the signs which I have sown amongst them.
The Most High said, after all I did for these ungrateful, stiff-necked, big-headed people, how long is it going to be that they just don't want to listen to me? Drop down, read verse 26 and 27. He said, how long is people going to provoke me? I mean, well, our people, Most High is like, man, you keep trying me. You're going to get everything you're looking for. You provoking me. I don't want to do it, but you making me do it. 26, 27.
Verse 26.
Yep.
And the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, how long shall I bear with this evil congregation?
You said, man, how long y'all expect me to wait on this, Moses and Aaron? I'm ready to chop heads. Continue.
Which murmur against me.
Didn't it say that he murmured against Moses and Aaron earlier? That's why, you know, when we always just say, man, people get complaining about leadership and all that. You ain't complaining against me or anybody else. The Lord is who's hearing it. He's like, okay, everything you saying about them, against them, I'm taking that personal. I'm taking it personal. He said, they're murmuring against me. Read.
I have heard the murmurs of the children of Israel, which they murmur against me.
He said, but Moses, it ain't about you. It ain't about Aaron. Bottom line, I'm the end all be all, man. They coming against me. And how's the Most High going to deal with it? We know how it ended up going down. Jump over to chapter 16, verse 8. Let's get right to the point.
Numbers chapter 16 and verse 8. And Moses said unto Korah, hear, I pray you, ye sons of Levi. Keep going.
Yeah, keep going.
Seem it but a small thing unto you, that God of Israel have separated you from the congregation of Israel, to bring you nearer to himself, to do the service of the tabernacle of the Lord, and to stand before the congregation to minister unto them.
Now, you had three sons of Levi, Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. And they said, we're going to do the service of Levi. Moses, we're getting ready to start our own thing. You and Aaron are out. And Moses was pleading with him. He said, look, okay, listen. So y'all deciding you're going to do the priestly service? You going to replace me after he was already anointed and chosen of the Lord? Okay. They were inciting the rebellion. Considering, getting at everybody. Yeah, we getting ready to take this thing up. Oh, okay. Korah, Dathan, and Abiram, They all came against Moses, right? Read on.
And he had brought thee near to him, and all thy brethren of the sons of Levi with thee, and seek ye the priesthood also,
Mm-hmm.
for which cause both thy and all thy company are gathered together against the Lord. And what is Aaron that he murmur against him?
He
And
said,
Moses,
what Aaron got to do with this, man? Y'all coming at my brother too? They didn't care. Because remember what the children of Israel, they wanted back. They wanted, you know, just like in what was it, Maccabees? I think it's the 3rd chapter, where it said that there was some men out there that wanted vainglory. They said, we're gonna make ourselves a name. And they stirred up Israel and was like, man, the Maccabees ain't the only ones who can go out there and fight. We gonna go out there. We want the same fame as Judas Maccabeus and Simon and the rest of them. They went out there and got like 3,000 people put to death. Because they anointed themselves and said, we're going to go out there and do what we want to do. We want fame. We want names. We want recognition. We want to go out there and slaughter some in the name of the Lord too. Wound up getting a lot of Jakes put to death. So Moses saying, so let me get this straight. You think it seems like a small thing to you that the Most High has separated you from the congregation of Israel to bring you near to himself, to do the service of the tabernacle of the Lord, and to stand before the congregation to minister unto them. He said, that's what y'all want, right? Go ahead.
and Moses sent to call Dathan and Abiram and the sons of Eliab.
Yeah, they had a camp with them, congregation. Everybody was riding. They said, okay. He said, now Moses sent and called for the three brothers. Go ahead.
Which said, we will not come up.
We not going with you, Moses. We doing this right here. We started up our new camp, and we gonna do us, and people's with us. Read.
Is it a small thing that thou hast brought us up out of the land that floweth with milk and honey, to kill us in the wilderness, except thou make thyself altogether a prince over us?
You think you brought Moses? You ain't slick. You talking about this land that's flowing with milk and honey, man. You brought us out here to kill us, and those that remain, you just gonna try to rule over us. You're not slick, Moses. We know what you up to, and we're here to stop it. Read.
Moreover, thou hast not brought us into a land that floweth with milk and honey, or given us inheritance of fields and vineyards. Well, thou put out the eyes of these people.
We ain't seen no land of milk and honey. We ain't seen no fields getting inherited. We ain't seen. Where's the proof of all of this, Moses? Y'all keep talking about the kingdom. Y'all keep talking about the laws. Y'all keep talking about righteous marriage. Where's all the profit into this, man? Everything, ever since I got married to her, I've been having hell. I've been asking if I can divorce her. You telling me according to the law I can't. But where's all the promises of the righteous? Oh, where are the righteous women at? I'm sick of this. Brother said that he was going to treat me right, and he's over there beating me up, and you know, all kind of stuff goes down. Y'all said it was going to be good now that I'm in the truth. I've been catching nothing but hell. I was better off in the world. And you like, well, you didn't read the fine print where it said, when you come in here, you're going to get afflicted, you'll get chosen, you're going to improve, you're going to go through the furnace of affliction. Yeah, well, I don't like that. Going back in the world, it's got to be easier. Got to be easier way. I know I'm Israel. I know about them laws, yeah, but I ain't got to do it here. I'm going to go out and do my own thing. Okay, cool. Most I'll be with you. Next thing you see them, man, they turned out on the street in West Hollywood. Hey,
Wow.
you remember that back in the day? It was a brother that had left, and brothers had to go find him. He was at some church that was they was holding the church in the basement of like some sodomite club. Remember that, Courtney? I don't remember because he grew up in my neighborhood. But yeah, all type of matters go on. Brother, you end up fucking getting weak and falling off, man. Jakes had to track him down. He was at some damn church that was in the basement of some damn sodomite club. He was like, what the hell are you doing in here, man? You think if most I'd turn Jake over to his own reprobate mind, he was like, oh my goodness. Okay. So here you see it. People wanting immediate expectations, especially now. You know, everything is so microwave, popcorn, turnover, get everything instantaneously. You don't get it right away, lose patience. And here they are. Moses, man, you talking about this land of milk and honey, and we ain't got no inheritance, no fields, no vineyards. He said, man, you going to mess around. He said, well, thou put out the eyes of these men, we will not come up. He said, man, you ain't showing us nothing. What, you going to poke the eyes out of the men now? Read on.
And Moses was very wroth.
Now they pissed Moses off. Now Moses, he said, I've been patient, I've been meek, I've been humble, but now you pissing me off. Read on.
And said unto the Lord, respect not thou their offering. I have not taken one ass from them, neither have I hurt one of them. And Moses said unto Korah, be thou in all thy company before the Lord, thou and they, and Moses tomorrow, and take every man his censer, and put incense in them, and bring them before the Lord, every man his censer, 250 censers. Thy also and Aaron, each of you his censer. And they took every man his censer, and put fire in them, and laid incense thereon, and stood in the door of the tabernacle of the congregation with Moses and Aaron. And Korah gathered all the congregation against them, into the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And the glory of the Lord appeared unto all the congregation.
Now watch this.
And the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, separate yourselves from amongst this congregation, that I may consume them in the moment.
Most I told Moses, and he said, look out. Back up, because I'm about to wipe all of their butts out. In a moment, he said, it ain't gonna take a second. And Moses and Aaron like, no, hold on, Lord, hold on. No, it ain't gonna be but a moment. But move. I gotta take them down. Read on.
And they fell upon their faces and said, O God, the God of the spirits of all flesh, shall one man sin? And will thou be wroth with all the congregation?
See, and they said, you know what? Now we can't let everybody get taken out. Because of one man doing all these men, you're gonna take out the whole congregation, Lord. Now, let's be fair about this. As you keep reading down, Moses said, okay, well, look, if the men survive, you know, they're gonna come out their tents. If they live, then I'm a liar. But if they get swallowed up by the earth, then know that the Most High is real, and everybody better get right. Lo and behold, earth woke, opened up. The men and all their families got put to death. And that was how the Most High affirmed that Moses was right, and Israel woke up. Then Israel, oh shoot, good thing we did go along with them things. They almost got us put to death, But it all started off with a little bit of complaining, a little bit of murmuring, and the Most High be long suffering. He's like, okay, I hear you. I'm gonna let it go in one ear and out the other, and then eventually it gets too much. And then the Most High is like, okay, boom, I'm about to start bringing judgments down. I'm about to start taking people out. Jump over to John. St. John chapter 6. And start at verse 41.
John chapter 6 and verse 41. The Jews then murmured against him. The Jews then murmured at him, because he said, I am the bread which came down from heaven. And they said, is not this Jesus, the son of Joseph, whose father and mother we know? How is it then that he said, I came down from heaven? Yahushua therefore answered and said unto them, murmur not amongst yourselves. No man can come to me except the Father which hath sent me draw him, and I will raise him up at the last day.
So here we see the Jews are already murmuring and complaining. They're already coming up against, they're bearing grudges. They're challenging Yahushua. They're challenging the faith. And we see there, it's a cut to the so-called Immaculate Conception, because the common theme that everybody knew that he was the son of Joseph. Nobody was like, is he the son of the adulterous woman who nobody knew how she got pregnant? And meanwhile, they all knew that was Joseph's son, right? Now it says they were challenging and trying to get an understanding whether or not he was the prophesied Messiah or not. So even challenging particular doctrinal understandings and challenging the Old Testament and things, that was all considered murmuring as well, right? Go ahead.
It is written in the prophets, and they shall be all taught of God. Every man therefore that hath heard and hath learnt of the Father cometh unto me. Not that any man have seen the Father, save he which is of God. He hath seen the Father. Very, very, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me hath everlasting life. I am that bread of life. Your fathers did eat manna in the wilderness and are dead. This is the bread which cometh down from heaven, that a man may eat thereof and not die.
Now, I'm gonna stop there, but everybody on your own time, continue reading on, but I'm gonna drop down. Now, remember, even Yahweh Shah told Satan, he said, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of the living power. And this is what our people wasn't grasping onto, that it wasn't just about the food, it was about the Most High sustaining us through the Spirit by following and being obedient to his word. And they said our people, they was eating manna and they still ended up dying. Why? Because they was out there complaining, challenging the Most High, faithless, so forth and so on, right? But here's a good point down in verse 60. And let's read down to verse 66. Because just like we talked about falling away, people leaving the truth, leaving camp, same thing happened here. You had some disciples, man, that fell off and left Yahweh side in that moment. Go ahead and read that. Verse 60.
Verse 60.
Mm-hmm.
Many therefore of the disciples, when they had heard this, said, this is an hard saying. Who can hear it? When Yahushua knew in himself that his disciples murmured at it, he said unto them, doth this offend you? What and if ye shall see the Son of Man ascend up where he was before? It is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. But there are some of you that believe not. For Yahushua knew from the beginning who they were that believed not, and who should betray him. And he said, therefore I say unto you, that no man can come unto me except it were given unto him of my Father. From that time, many of his disciples went back and walked no more with him.
See that? When he laid down the law, he laid down the discipline, he said, ain't nobody getting to the Most High except through me. The Spirit is going to quicken you. The flesh profited nothing. If you're in here for carnal means, so forth and so on, some of y'all going to betray me. I already know what time it is, and they got cut to the heart. And they ain't just talking about the 12. If you remember, you read in Mark, it said there was 70 others. So there's always been disciples and following, but there was 12 elect that walked with him on the daily. But you had 70 others that were still out there teaching. You had John's disciples around. But once they heard that, they was like, something cut them and said, you know what? Yeah, I'm in it for the fleshly means. He said, man, the flesh profited nothing. The Spirit is going to continue to quicken him. If you're in it for the fame, you want a little internet fame, you want some money, you want to be popular, you want to be the next, rapper, big rapper in Israel, whatever the case may be, the alternative means that people, coming to the truth. Oh, you just want to be a part of something. You just want to go along and get along. Oh, my best friend, they start following this, so I'm following her. I'm listening. I'm looking for a husband. I'm looking for a wife. If those are the means, you're going to end up getting cut to the heart and you're going to depart. And that's what you see all the time throughout the cycles of life within Israel, is everybody's got alternative. Well, I ain't gonna say everybody. So a lot of people come in with alternative motives or whatnot, and eventually the Spirit rises up and they get pulled out and they end up walking away. So that's what ends up happening. It all starts from complaining too. How come I ain't got this? How come I ain't got that? Why is this happening? I don't believe that anymore. I'm changing up my, eventually it's like, okay, well, you're going to end up walking away. You're not going to follow Yahweh Shah no more. I don't believe the New Testament anymore. Oh, those writings are questionable. David is a king. It ain't no Christ. Ain't no JC. All that stuff. Jay's come in believing, and next thing you know, oh, you know what, that New Testament, man, the Piso family wrote that. That's tampered with. I don't believe that no more. They're going to end up departing from the faith. And it happens all the time. All the time. Jump over to Job. Job 9. You can start 24 down to 27.
Job chapter 9 and verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where? And who is he?
So we know the spirit that's within the world. Who's controlling it, who's running it. That's a classic scripture everybody knows. But continue on.
Now my days are swifter than a post. They flee away. They see no good. They are passed away as the swift ships.
So Job was saying, man, time is flying by. Every day is moving by. He said they don't see no good. Like Job was like, man, every day is a bad day for me. You know, I joke around with my coworkers sometimes, and they, you know, might say good morning, and I might say morning, and they be like, "It's not good." No, I'm here right now. What would you think? Good morning. You ever notice that? You tell somebody, "No, good morning." It's typically because they don't want to acknowledge it's being good, you know. And Job was like, "That's every day." He said, "Man, my days is moving like swift shit. Swifter than the post. The post is like a runner." He said, "Man, the days going by fast, and I ain't been able to account for one that's been good." Read.
As the eagle that hasteth to the prey.
Mm-hmm.
If I say I will forget my complaint, I will leave off my heaviness and comfort myself. I am afraid of all my sorrows. I know that thy will not hold me innocent. If I be wicked, why then labor I in vain?
So Job was having to have counsel within himself. He said, well, you know what? If I want to make things right, if I want to change, he said, I'm going to leave off. I'm going to forget my complaining. I'm going to leave off my heaviness. I'm going to comfort myself. He said, if I'm afraid of my sorrows, meaning the afflictions that come along with it, he said, I will know that thou will not hold me innocent. Because why? The Most High said that he's going to chasten those that he loves. So sometimes when we catch that hell, man, it's only the Most High showing his love for us, that he wants us to be right. He wants us to be corrected in measure. He wants us to actually move in a fashion that's going to make us more perfect in his sight. That's all I needed that. All right. 1 Corinthians 10. Let's get a couple more. 1 Corinthians 10. And for time's sake, everybody can write down one, or actually the chapter, because we get back into Paul recounting the history of Israel and being in the wilderness. But start at verse 6 and read down to 10.
1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
Now these things were our examples to the intent we should not lust after evil things, as they also lusted.
Well, what's he talking about? He's talking about the wilderness and the history that happened over there. He said, these things are our examples. This is what we learn from. So, you know, getting back to the beginning of the lesson where I made mention about my former elder, acknowledging that nothing is basic. Why? Because it's always something to learn from. These are examples that we're supposed to take in, apply in our lives, and learn from those things. Read.
Neither be ye idolaters, as
idolaters,
mm-hmm. as were some of them, as it is written, the people sat down and eat and drink and rose up to play.
Yeah, that's all Israel want to do. Israel want to turn up, want to party, want to do all the good stuff, and can't wait for the next convocation. Can't wait for this gathering. Can't wait for this. But when it comes down to doing the hard, the laborious things, to make them convocations happen, to make, feast days glorious and things like that, people don't want to do nothing. They just want to know what time is it, what time do I need to be there, and waiting for somebody to say, okay, you got to go. Anything left to eat? Anything left to drink? All right, I'm out. See y'all. You going to help clean up? I got to go. What? You're not going to help do nothing? What happened when Moses went up to the mount? Immediately, Israel started partying. And it's like, hold on. Are you remembering why he even went to go get instruction of the Most High to bring back these commandments? Our people should be sitting back waiting, saying, I wonder what this is going to be about. And we about to move up to another level. Moses getting counsel from the Lord. He's going to come. They out there. Moses is gone. Let's turn up, everybody. And they was out there partying, eating and drinking, rising up to play. The Lord said, man, pay attention to all of this. All hell's breaking loose out there in the earth, man. Our people want to know where the party's at. They ain't worried about nothing. They worried about Beyonce country album. I seen the picture of that. I was like, she looked like a damn white woman now. Blonde, hair all looking crazy, light skin. I was like, oh my goodness. It's over with. Read on.
Neither let us commit fornication, as some of them committed,
Mm-hmm.
and fell in one day 320,000. Neither let us tempt Christ, as some of them also tempt.
Yeah, that was in Numbers 25. Being amongst the mixed multitude and being amongst other heathens, man, the Moabites, Midianites, that's what I was saying. 23,000. Actually, Numbers 25 would say 24,000. But it was 23 fell in one day, and then the other 1,000 fell the next day. So there's not a contradiction in the Bible. So, sometimes they pop that out. Hold on. Numbers 25 said 24,000. Paul said 23. Did a contradiction? Did they make an error? He said in one day, 23,000 fell. That meant that there was still 1,000 that had to die after that first day. Read with comprehension, and you will be all right instead of looking for a reason not to believe. Right? So it says, fell in one day, 320,000. That was just for committing fornication. And that example was sleeping with the other nations as a form of fornication, worshiping their gods, idolatry, all that stuff was going down. And the Most High said, all flesh is as grass. I got no problem taking out 23,000 in a day. So what does our little lives look like now? Right? Verse 9.
Neither let us tempt Christ, as some of them also tempt,
Mm-hmm.
and were destroyed of serpents. Neither murmur ye, as some of them also murmured, and were destroyed of the destroyer.
See that? Read.
Now all these things happen unto them for examples.
Can you imagine? All the deaths, 23,000 was an example. Most I said, if it was 2,000 or 200 or 2 people, the Israelites believing in 2024, that ain't enough. That ain't enough people. 24,000 they might believe that I'm not playing. Because if you lower the number, it'll be like, oh, yeah, a couple people died. White man says one man dies, it's a tragedy. 1,000 people die, it's a statistic. See, that's how the numbers play the game on the psychology of the mind. If one person died, everybody's like, oh my goodness, can you believe the little 5-year-old got killed? But 10,000 die in a big earthquake, it's the stat. Ain't nobody thinking about individuals because nobody's connected to it. They just look at the number. So that's how the Most High is like, yo, if a couple people died, that ain't gonna be enough to whip them into shape in 2024. 24,000 is like, oh shoot, the Most High ain't playing. Okay, yeah, I believe now. And he said this was all as examples. Read.
They were written for our admonition.
Our admonition, right? Read.
Upon whom the ends of the world are come.
Right. And these are all based upon, and admonition is like an instruction. It says, upon whom the ends of the world are come. So when we're looking at end times, Most High said, we see what it's going to be like. We see the examples. We see how the Most High is not playing how we're supposed to be putting ourselves in order during these times. All right. Write down 1 Timothy 6 and 6. We give y'all a couple to write down, and then we're going to close out with a couple more. 1 Timothy 6 and 6. Philippians 2 and 14. Actually, I think I want that Philippians. Let's get there. Let's get there.
Where we going?
Philippians 2.
Oh, do I this without memory?
Mm-hmm. Philippians 2 and read 14.
Philippians chapter 2 and verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
Do all things without murmurings.
Some things.
Do all things without murmurings
All right.
and disputings.
You know what? No, I'm sorry. Read verse 12. Let's jump up a little bit. So we can get the context of why this is important. 12.
Philippians chapter 2 and verse 12.
Mhm.
Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling.
See, that's what it boils down to. Working on our salvation with fear and trembling. If our people had the fear and trembling of the Lord back in the wilderness, they'd all made it. But because the fear of the Lord was lacking, because they didn't care about salvation, remember Joshua and Caleb was like, look, the promised land's over here. We got everything, milk, honey, the land is beautiful. And they said, man, give me that stone, man. I'm about to knock him upside the head. I don't want to hear about that. So there wasn't fear and trembling now, but we're talking about salvation. This is how we need to work it out. Read.
For it is God which worketh in you both to will and to do of his good pleasure.
Right.
Do all things without murmurings and disputings.
See, and that's always from the beginning. Now we're all the way down into the book of Philippians. One spirit that always plagues our people is our murmuring. He said, do all things without murmurings and disputings. Write down Job chapter 10, verse 1 through 2. Stay in Philippians. We're going to go to chapter 4. We're going to read 8 down to 11.
Philippians chapter 4 and verse 8. Finally, brethren.
So at the conclusion, finally, brethren, read.
Whatsoever things are true,
Mm-hmm.
whatsoever things are honest,
Go ahead.
whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely,
Read.
whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think of these things.
See, when we get to the situation of, they say keeping a positive attitude, being optimistic and not pessimistic, right? Always trying to find the light when things is always dark, because we know the Most High is always going to provide light. These are the light, right? So we're saying if we find any of these things, we got to look for the good all the time. Read. He said, now, once we find it, think on these things, because it's always going to reflect us back in connection with the Most High. Read.
Those things which ye have both learned and received
Come on.
and heard and seen in me,
Yep.
do. And the God of peace shall be with you.
Read.
But I rejoice in the Lord greatly, that now at the last your care of me hath flourished again, wherein ye were also careful, but ye lack opportunity. Not that I speak in respect of want, for I have learned, and whatsoever state I am, therewith to be content.
See, Paul said, man, I learned my lesson. I know, he said, regardless of what state that I'm in, I learned to be content. Right? Paul went through hell. He said, man, I've been in shipwrecks. I've been locked up. I done been beat down for this truth. I had to deal with the untrust, having to deal with a spirit that can't be trusted amongst my people. 1 minute I'm persecuting the church. I'm killing people. I witnessed Stephen get put to death in the whole 9. And next thing you know, when I get converted, I'm coming around trying to gain the trust of my people. You think Paul was easily accepted? Everybody was like, hell no, you was the one, you was out there persecuting the church. You just told us not to prophesy the name of Yahushua, and now you saying it's all good? I don't trust you. Hell no. He got a small little group he can ride with, Timothy, Barnabas, Mark. They was like, listen, you talking about going to them heathen, the ones that's been, no, we're not dealing with our people over there, man. They've been broken from the covenant. They uncircumcised. They wicked. No, we're not letting them back. And Paul's like, no, y'all got to let them back. That's what the grace and mercy of Yahushua is for. What you talking about? Man, get that stone. I'm going to whip your butt.
Mm-hmm.
Beat the hell out of Paul, man. Paul had to play dead. Where was that, in Iconium?
Yeah.
He had to play dead on the ground. He said, are they gone? He was like, Paul, you all right? The disciples came. He said, man, let's get up out of here. We'll be back. So he was going through. He said, man, whatsoever. Read that verse 11 again.
Verse 11. Not that I speak in respect of want, for I have learned, in whatsoever state I am, therewith to be content.
He said, man, whatever the Lord brings upon him, however, in what state he's in, he said, regardless of the wants that they may have, because you know there's a difference between wants and needs. We always have wants, but our wants don't always equate to our needs. Most High give us what we need. Now, what we want, we can pray for it. If the Lord blesses us with it, so be it. It's all good. If He doesn't, don't complain about it. Hebrews 13:5 will close with that.
Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 5. Let your conversation be without covetousness,
Mm-hmm.
and be content with such things as ye have. For he have said, I will never leave thee, nor forsake thee.
See, and that's what we always got to remember. It said that our conversation, it said, not to deal with covetousness, always desiring what you can't have, what ain't yours, and, I want that, I need this, I need that. Well, I said, listen, if I want you to have it, it'd be yours. If I don't, then I don't. But don't let me hear you complain about why not. He said, so we deal with contentment, and we know that as long as that's the one thing that we pray for, and that's what David said. He said he prayed that his spirit never depart from him. That's the most important treasure that we can have. He said he'll never leave us nor forsake us. So as the Christians would say, he don't come when you want, but he's always on time. That's something really to take and cherish, because we may have needs and wants that we think is imperative in the moment, but a lot of times it may not be. It's on his time. So as we, walking through this spiritual desert that we're in right now in this wilderness, and we trying to get our spirits and our minds together, one thing we always got to remember, that was the cardinal sin of Israel that got a lot of our people put to death and forsaken, didn't see that kingdom or didn't see the promised land, which is equating to our kingdom, is for us complaining, murmuring, bearing grudges, and the whole nine. Seems like a simple principle, but you would think it would have been simple. But for some reason, it's embedded in us, and we got to learn to control that, because we can see, like I said, we can see all the miracles, everything that the Most High did, and His power and His glory and everything else. The chariots, they fire by day, cloud by night, leading and guiding us out, and we still found a reason to say, I'm trying to get back to Egypt, man. Mm-hmm. Moses, the hell with you in there, man. If you don't get out my way, man, I'm gonna knock you out. Where I need that golden calf right now. We the Most High left us. We gonna die. Forget it. It's over with. Same way some certain disciples said, man, Yahweh said, man, the Spirit's gonna quicken us. The flesh profits nothing, and cut us and said, if we don't believe this, we're out. We're gonna go ahead and leave. So it's important that we always remember this, man. All right. So all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. Shabbat shalom. If it is the closing Sabbath, some of y'all are, in states that the Sabbath is already over with, and you still riding with us. Shabbat shalom to y'all. Everybody join us online. I'm gonna close out. Y'all know who you are. I'm not gonna scroll back and try to salute everybody that's online. But all right, shalom to everybody.